Merry Christmas, Eve.
Much better. Happy Christmas Eve.
Hi.
Santa Claus coming tonight. Santa Claus coming tonight.
Is that a real song?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, we're here on Christmas Eve to really kind of take the day off by showing you one of the funnest, most fun, happiest.
Yeah.
One of our top moments of 2020 is when the Karns community asked us to MC their Christmas parade.
Yeah, it's the first time I'd ever hosted a parade, and I'm just excited because they've asked us to come back.
You're good at it.
Thank you.
You did really well, and that's why they asked us to come back.
Thanks.
That was back on Saturday, December 12th, and I know thousands of people watched it because it says so on YouTube. But we're going to put it on here on the Krisha and Frank YouTube channel and on all of our audio podcast apps, so you can listen to our wacky commentary.
We had a really good time and can't thank them enough for having us and for having us back next year. And we hope that you enjoy the parade.
The Karns Christmas Parade, with this footage courtesy of Mr. Wade and his audio-visual class
so
at the
cool.
Byington-Solway CTE,
Yeah.
Career Technical Education. And they part of our deal was we could have a copy to share with you.
Yeah, and you'll get to see some of them in this footage as well.
So, Merry Christmas from the Krisha and Frank Show.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Karns in the rain. There's no rain right now.
I'm so excited. Merry Advent.
Merry Advent, Merry Christmas. We are so excited. The Karns Christmas Parade kicks off we can see.
Oh, it's technically
right now.
kicked. Technically, it has kicked. It just isn't to where we are. We are Krisha and Frank. I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Krisha Brooke.
And we are delighted that we're here with you in Karns, especially in this year of 2020 and COVID, when so many other communities have had to rearrange or cancel their parades because of restrictions, but the people in Karns have gone overboard.
Oh.
Because, number one, here we are live on YouTube on the brand new Karns Network.
And it's so exciting because we are going to be able to bring you everything that you would be able to see
Yeah.
if you were out here today watching the parade. And right now, looking down the street, there are a lot of people out, but they're very socially distanced. You
Oh,
can
sure.
see behind us, everyone's masked. But yeah, they're waving hi.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beautiful thing. I mean, I made this joke on our podcast. We have a Monday through Friday podcast that's on YouTube, and it's on all the audio podcast things. I made this joke that last year's Karns Christmas Parade was already socially distant.
Yeah.
But that's just the nature of Karns.
It's perfect, and it makes me so happy. And we are actually on the Blue Bridge, the famous Blue Bridge.
This bridge used to go over I-40. I didn't remember that.
Apparently it was at Malfunction Junction, which if you drive on I-40, that's everywhere.
Yeah, where 75 and 40 come together. Well, they picked it up and moved it. TDOT moved it here to Karns because, well, there was obviously a reason for it. There was a tragedy when somebody got killed crossing the street, and they said, well, we can't have that happen again. So we're going to put this pedestrian bridge, and that's Karns Elementary School is right behind us on that side. And then over on this side, we got Mike Grimes Insurance. And Mike Grimes Insurance, we got to say a huge thank you.
Yes, we are going to thank them numerous times because we're using their Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So here's a note. We got a note that we're doing well, that we're on.
Oh, I need my mic closer to my mouth. Hi.
That's
hi.
And here's you can see the
That's
looks
the
like
Knox County Sheriff's Department.
they're cruising. They're checking the streets.
making sure everything. Can you hear me
Traffic
now?
is closed. So this is great. Thanks for doing the parade.
And thanks for having us. We are absolutely so excited. And I know that we have several views that you're going to be able to see as you watch. And maybe, can we look at the helicopter coming right now?
Oh my gosh. Take a look at that shot. There it is.
So you're seeing what we're seeing right now. I thought, man, that helicopter sounds really close.
It is amazing. Here we are. It's very professional. I've done a lot of parades, but the Karns Network's YouTube channel, which is put together by Chris Wade and the audiovisual production students at Karns High School, are the ones who have put this parade together. I mean, I don't want to diss every other parade I've done.
But this is an awesome. This is already an awesome parade.
I know.
And
I'm so happy right now.
I know. Like if you
have
just
to calm
have to
me
know,
down.
And I always feel this way with parades. I love watching parades. I love being in parades, but I always get so giddy. And I hope that you're able, as you're watching this on YouTube and you're safe, that you're able to feel how giddy. Right now, there are kids just all over. And we had a shot a second ago of the street, but you can see just how many people
Yeah.
are out today. And, it's community supporting community. And that's what makes me so happy.
And I would like to point out, Krisha, that for you, this is an unusual spot to be in a parade.
It is.
For me, sitting on my rear, watching a parade from up here, this is normal for me because I've been able and blessed to do so many other St. Patrick's parades and Christmas parades and things over the years. But for you, you're normally down there dancing like you still worked at Disney World.
I usually am. And that is actually the Knox County Sheriff's Office.
Do you remember the day we were shooting the podcast on the back porch and they kept flying over the house?
Now we know they were just clearing the streets for parade.
Yeah, or they're looking for us because
you never know. But we also have to thank everyone who's back here running cameras right now.
Students.
And it's students. And hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to some of them later on.
That's the great thing about the, and we're going to get a shot of the kids who are switching cameras for us. And the cool thing about it is the CTE program at Knox County. That's Lexi and Alex.
Hi, Lexi and Alex.
And they are working the computers and switching cameras for us and running our sound and doing all the things. Chris Wade, who I knew was a DJ at B97,
right,
is the instructor for this audiovisual program, part of the CTE class, which is vocational.
Class. Yeah.
These kids are being trained at the high school level to get real jobs in an industry. Look at us. We're on YouTube. This is
Can you imagine if when we were in school that this had been something that we had? We would not have half the difficulties that we have trying to run our own stuff right now. But off in the distance, you can see the parade is coming down the road. You can
they got
see
the bright lights on.
Oh, hi. We don't know your name, but hi.
That's our number one cameraman.
Yeah.
Hey, cameraman, what's your name? Christopher. Is that right? All right. Thank you, Christopher.
Chris.
Oh, okay, another Chris.
All the Chris's.
So this is... So we pointed out that they got the AV students working on it. Also got to thank the Beaver Creek Kayak Club.
Yeah.
That's Cassie Kiesler is very involved in that and in the Karns Community Fair. They got everybody lined up over at Ingalls, which is down that way. And you know the Ingalls.
I do know the Ingalls.
That's where the parade lines up. And the beautiful thing about the Karns Parade is really any group that wanted to be in the parade just had to show up at 9 o'clock this morning and get lined up. And they've sent us a list of, it looks like 52
entries with the Karns Community Parade. And, it's so much fun to decorate floats. And
they ran out of space. They only had 50 spots on the on the paperwork.
If you're into classic cars, you are going to love what you see at the beginning of today's parade. There are so many classic cars. And that's one thing that I love about parades and the community. And we've got this helicopter. I love them.
Well, maybe they're trying to hear what we're saying. Maybe they just want us to wave.
Hi.
It's entirely possible that Blue Thunder up there is just trying to get a selfie.
But it's so much fun and decorating and the time that it takes. And so when the community comes out, or you're able to watch on YouTube,
yes,
and to just support a community who they may have spent. Did you just spill water all down your shirt?
Yep.
All right. I was in charge of making sure your tie is straight. I can't keep you clean.
Can you keep me dry?
I can't keep you dry.
You can keep me straight, but can you keep me dry?
I can't keep you dry.
Apparently, I've wet myself this early in the parade. Oh man, it's running down to the. Okay, so that's great. And I was thinking about our international audience. I've got a friend watching from London, England.
Hello.
The world famous Bean.
That's fantastic.
He used to work at KROQ in Los Angeles. Lives over there doing his Allie and Bean podcast in London, England, and he's.
Ooh,
thank you.
Special delivery.
Appreciate you, Miss Cassie. This
Thank
is the.
you. Thanks, Cassie.
The line of march. She did ASL. Do you read ASL?
I don't.
What does that mean? I don't know. I love you.
It's paper.
I love you. I love you too.
You too.
All right.
But the parade is making its way down, and the Karns community actually. I'll wait.
Our mics are so close to our mouths, it might not be affected by the. I don't know.
But the Karns community actually. Do you know that the Karns was named after?
Yeah.
We're good. We're named after the very first superintendent of Knox County Schools, before it was even Knox County Schools.
So it is appropriate then that Knox County Schools are the ones who are putting this production on today. That is outstanding. But yeah, was it Dr. Karns back in the day?
But initially, Byington, Ogville, Treeville, those were just some of the names that we could have been sitting in Treeville.
Treeville. Yeah, and the reason was they're just somebody had a nursery and they thought, oh, let's call it Treeville. That's pretty bad. I mean, they may as well have called it, Weiglesville or Insuranceville or...
Then you wouldn't know what part of Knoxville you were in.
That's a true point.
But it's such a great community.
I could have lived in Ogville.
You could have.
Technically I do live in Karns. You know that, right?
You do?
Yeah. My home is zoned for Karns High School, so I'm excited. This is the hometown parade for me. Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
And we're here looking at... They're slowly coming down the street toward us.
And we've got to thank Knox County Sheriff's Office, the Tennessee Highway Patrol, and if you just call it Karns Volunteer Fire Department, that's who we're going to be seeing leading this parade. And it's always the most exciting part for me, the band. Marching band, it gives me so much happiness.
And, actually, the Knox County schools go back to all virtual starting Monday. So this parade snuck in just under the deadline.
Just under.
Because... the marching band events, parades like this, are generally considered field trips.
Right, and extracurricular.
Well, you're a band mom.
I am a band mom.
Tell me about it.
I have my oldest daughter plays trumpet in marching band, and she's actually doing indoor band right now, indoor percussion. And my youngest, he plays percussion in marching band. And so Hannah is a sophomore, so I have been a band mom since 4th grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny because on our monitor, the parade looks closer than it does.
Doesn't it?
I thought they were right under us.
It's like, oh, goodness.
That's the long shot. But they are honking, and obviously law enforcement is out in force today to show their support for the community. This way we're flipping it. We want to say that the community supports law enforcement. Right now you've got them supporting the community by showing up.
It's such a huge part. And it's like I was talking about getting up and decorating the float. It's always one of the most exciting things of figuring out what Dollar Tree garland you're going to throw on.
Okay, because you've been in more parades than I have.
Yeah.
This is what you got to do.
My very first parade that I performed in was the Gatlinburg Christmas Parade. I was 5 years old.
No kidding.
And I twirled baton in the back of a truck.
And you were supposed to be in it this year, but it got rained out.
It got rained out. And honestly, this is perfect parade weather, if you ask me.
Yeah, because it's not too hot, not too cold.
Not too cold, and it's fantastic.
And
I'm so glad it
the
worked
breeze
out.
that we're feeling up here on the pedestrian bridge, the blue bridge, to me is an indicator that the clear blue skies are headed our way. And
Lexi,
blue
are you coming to talk to us?
is the color
Awesome.
of Karns High School. So, Lexi, you're going to take this mic and step back, and then once you step back a little ways, switch it on and step back. So that way, when you're 6 feet away, you can pull down the mask.
Off. There
okay?
you go. Get away from us, but talk to us.
All right, Lexi, tell us about this CTE type program, the audiovisual program. Is your mic on all the way? And flip it on all the way and talk as loud as you can.
We may need a.
Oh, you know what?
Check.
We turned it down to stop the helicopter noise.
There it is.
There you go, hon. Sorry about that.
So if we do a
That's the other one. That's the police siren shotgun we just turned on.
do a lot of hands-on stuff, and
Hang on a second, Lexi. Right now, all I'm getting is shotgun mic and the motor. We'll still talk to you. We'll come back to you. But the parade has arrived. We tried to bite off a little more than we could chew right now. Oh, this is Tennessee Highway Patrol. Is who's under us right here.
We have Tennessee Highway Patrol, Knox County Sheriff's Office, and the Karns Volunteer Fire Department.
I want to know who's got the golf carts. That's what I'm excited about.
It's the
That's
sheriff's
that looks like
office?
Sheriff Spangler. Is that?
I think
it looks like the
is.
sheriff himself, in my opinion. And they got the fancy the fancy marked cars rather. No hiding from that one.
No, not at all. And I have to say a big shout out to the bicycle police officers, because I run on trails a lot and I run on greenways, and that's who patrols greenways and makes sure that everybody's staying safe there. And so that's
good.
Yeah, that's actually
Knox County Schools just drove under us, and
hi.
again, we're super thankful because Lexi and Alex and Christopher, they're all students at Karns and part of the AV production class.
And we'll talk to Lexi as soon as we have another chance. We'll jump on with her. We want to make sure that we talk about everything that they're doing with the AV program, because honestly, as I was saying, can you imagine if we had something like this when we were coming up through school?
Yeah.
And that's the Karns.
Well, I went to a snooty private school, so we did. But it was
I didn't.
But it was black and white. It was so long ago that it was black and white.
Everything. The world was in black and white.
Well, technically color TV existed, but the equipment that we had at my high school was all black and white. We called it I was the president of the ITV club.
And we've got the Karns Volunteer Fire Department coming by right now, and
boy, they're going slow.
They're not in a hurry, buddy. But they're the volunteer fire department. A lot of people don't really know that a lot of communities, even in Knox County, even outside, only have volunteer fire departments. And
I see. You've got I was reading the wrong list. Yeah, right. I get you.
But the volunteer fire department, that actually means that a lot of these people, they're at home.
Yeah.
And they used to be firefighters, maybe with the city of Knoxville, but now they volunteer, and it's a really great thing. So when they do ask for little donations, you can always throw in a little $5 or $10 just to make sure that they're taken care of.
What would I call my grandson's other grandfather? Is he my grandfather, my grandbrother-in-law?
Your grandson's other grandfather.
Well, anyway, he's a volunteer firefighter up in his community. And I know that Artie Timmy and Charlie Rocket are all watching on YouTube from Northern Virginia today. So I know your other grandpa, Art, is a volunteer fire department. And I'm a guy who sits and looks and waves and talks about volunteer fire departments.
They're awesome. I think they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a good volunteer fire department?
Well, living in Karns, I know that's always been a thing because Rural Metro has some of the territory, Karns Volunteer has some of the territory, and they've managed to stay funded and stay viable, obviously, through all those years.
As the parade is continuing to make its way towards us, again, we have to thank Mike Grimes Insurance we're using their Wi-Fi, and that's how this broadcast is possible completely.
And one of the things the reason we have to use somebody else's Wi-Fi is because the Karns Network is still so new.
Right.
You have to have 1,000 followers on YouTube before they let you do mobile live on YouTube. So technically, we are hardwired, and like I said, down to a router that gets us over to the insurance guys thing. So we'd love for you to, while you're watching the Karns Parade,
go ahead and hit subscribe.
Hit subscribe.
Help them build this up.
The Karns Network has been showing basketball games, and the reason it's very COVID friendly. A lot of parents want to still watch their kids play basketball.
Right.
You don't want to sit inside a hot, sweaty gym for 3 hours. That's why it's going to be on YouTube. It's fantastic.
And I will say that the innovation that has come from these challenging times has actually been fantastic, because for a lot of years, a lot of people live out of town and aren't able to see their grandchildren or their cousins or aunts or uncles play basketball, and now they can.
Here's a picture that Bean did a screen grab all the way from England of us talking to each other, and he said we can tweet that out. So that's fantastic.
But thank you so much for joining and for watching. And please, like we said, subscribe to this channel where you're watching this right now, because you're going to be able to see all sorts of really cool content, and to be able to support your community and be out. And
look at the comments. It's Miss Jerry says, "Yay, Krisha and Frank." Hutch and Howard Real Estate is congratulating Chris, and thanks for all that fine
Spread
job.
some Christmas cheer.
Michael Etheridge is commenting. We see that one. I feel like those guys in Pigeon Forge who just read the comments on their live YouTube. We can totally do that. Christopher Ritchie commenting. Thank you, Chris.
But as you are watching, and if you are watching right now, you can see the people behind us, everyone are wearing masks. Frank and I are in our social bubble, so we are not masked with each other.
Yeah.
But if we move from this table and we don't have microphones on our mouths,
I've got my mask.
We've got them in our pockets.
I've got two. I've got the blue one here.
Right.
I've got the N95 over here.
Right.
This one. Yeah, I'm loaded. I'm loaded for masks.
And looking around, you see families together, but people are socially distanced. And, you know, if you're in your social bubble, you're in a safe zone, but people are socially distanced, and there are people out wearing masks. And I'm just once again so glad that we're able to do this.
Looks like, I know 6 feet is the distance, right?
Correct.
Is it possible that some of these people are doing maybe 600 feet?
Yes, it is possible that we are 600 feet.
6,000 feet.
Distanced.
I mean, look, seriously, there's been this huge gap in the parade, the biggest socially distant gap in the parade you can even imagine.
Well, you know, it's hard to, as you and I showed you, there may be a video on our YouTube of me showing you parade movement.
Oh, the Disney dance. What would you call it?
It's traveling movement. Because if you look, you know, you've got cars that are moving, and they're moving at 5 to 10 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But you can't walk at 5 to 10 miles an hour. So,
that's true. You would know.
Yeah. It is. It's not it's no easy feat, especially when you got a band you got to keep up with.
Well, that's going to be fun when the band gets here. So this is more
Tennessee Highway Patrol.
THP. You know whose dad is a THP?
I do not.
Hot Toddy.
Oh yeah,
Our friend
I
Hot
do know
Toddy,
that.
his dad is in the THP. And I always enjoyed seeing. It was always fun when the THP car would show up, and you're like, "Oh my God, is someone in trouble?" And it's like, "No." Hot Toddy's going to lunch with his dad.
And of course, this year they're not throwing out candy to stay very safe and to make sure that we're not touching each other, running out into the street to get candy. But
Can I point out? I mean, someone's going to not like this. Is my unpopular opinion. I think we should do away with the candy.
Really?
Well, have you ever driven down the road after the parade?
I have.
And it's all just squished candy, a lot of squished candy.
But everybody loves candy.
Everybody loves candy, but there has to be a more efficient way to distribute it than throwing it from a moving vehicle.
Maybe little individual bags. Is that what you would like? Individual bags. Everyone, next year's parade, make sure that you cater to Frank's needs and then individually bag your candy.
When you are in the parade, and I've been in a couple of parades riding the radio station vehicles, and you don't budget your candy properly.
Nope, you lose it all at the beginning of the parade.
And then you pull around the corner, and all of a sudden there's...
Yeah, and if you're down at the last red light, you're getting Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah.
That's all that's
Well,
left.
and there's one parade, the one down in Maryville, the crowd knows it. They all glom on. Like 90% of the people are in the first 5% of the parade route because they want to get all the candy. All right, here's another. Here's some more folks coming down past us.
We have
a walking banner for the law enforcement.
We have bagpipers, and I believe that this is a law enforcement bagpipe, from what I understand, and the ROTC bagpipe.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Now I like bagpipes.
I mean, I do too.
And I know a few bagpipers in town.
And I think we'll be able to hear them.
I can hear them through our soundproof headphones.
Yeah.
So I'm fairly confident. I know one of these mics, if I were to turn it up, is the shotgun mic. Which one is the shotgun? Number 4?
Number 4.
I'll turn it up. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't have to turn it up much. Yeah, I got plenty.
There you go.
Yeah. I just barely cracked it open, and you can hear the wind and the bagpipes. Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, this is the ROTC bagpipe, and look at how festive and happy everybody is. I love the coats that everyone wears, and it's very
I should
much
have brought
like
my
your
binoculars. I mean, I did bring them, but that one guy, he looks like the one bagpiper reminds me of a guy I know, but I don't think it's him. This guy named John Rose who does a lot of bagpiping around town, but I can't tell if it's him or not.
And he is very traditionally dressed, and that makes me very happy.
Oh yeah, he's freezing his kilt off, I think, is what his problem is right now. That's not John. That's somebody else. That's another bagpiper. So my apologies to you, sir, as you watch this later on the YouTube. Look at the Christmas sweaters.
Oh, I know, and that's what I was talking about. The Christmas sweaters make me so very happy. They're
fantastic.
the absolute best. And this may be our Grand Marshal.
It is, in fact, our Grand Marshal, and we want to point out that this is the coach of the Karns High School basketball team and his wife, Lee Henson and Lillian Henson.
Yeah, and they just passed by. They're going under our bridge now.
So I got to get a little bit ahead of that.
And they've been in the Karns community for 49 years. Taught at Karns Middle School from 1994 to 1997. Karns High School 97 until now.
And then his wife, Lillian, retired in 99. And they're hoping that they'll keep going forever. That car we saw, that was used back in the olden days to set land speed records.
Are you serious?
It says here that they did a
1921 Hudson Super 6 Speedster.
Like a cross-country drive at 75 miles an hour back in the what year was it? 1920s and 30s.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was the fastest car. 75 miles an hour going cross country and then waiting 8-hour rest and then turning around and coming back.
Oh my goodness. And shout out to Matt Faust. He is the owner and driver of that car carrying our Grand Marshal.
Oh, all right. So we're getting some nice comments. Sarah Idle says, this is great. Thank you.
Yay. Thanks, Sarah.
Becky is wishing good luck to Lexi and the video production. Another Dharma, whoever that is saying thank you to Cassie Kiesler and Charlie Austin because they are the ones who organized this. You can see in the Facebook group, the I Love Karns Facebook group, they put all this together.
And that is the Karns High School marching band that you can hear in the background. And
turn up,
and for me, it's always my giddy. It's always what makes me very giddy.
Did you play yourself?
My dad was in marching band. My kids are in marching band. But it's always, anytime I'm watching a parade, it just gives me the super happies. And I don't know, it's the drums and the music.
Yeah. Hey, Chris Wade, I touched the master volume when I was trying to touch that mic volume, so if you check it to make sure I'm okay. It kind of set like on 2. All right. We may as well just be honest because I don't want to screw it up. The last thing I need to do is be the one who messes up.
Be the one who messes up the whole production.
Right, the Grinch who stole Karns Parade.
But part of the high school band program, and I mean, being a band mom, how hard these work, but also how hard the parents work and the community works to make sure, because it's not cheap and it is not easy. And these, this year especially, marching band has been very difficult and very tricky. And I know that a lot of bands have had to limit how many people that they can have march.
But it's such an important part of development. You know who played drums in her high school band?
I do not.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Sevier County High School Band. Dolly Parton was a drummer back in the day. And then, I was just thinking about your kids. You talked about playing drums, and I'm hearing the percussion as I guess they're about to, I hope, blast into another production number for us. Got the flags ready. If I stand up and wave, will they start playing?
I hope so. But they're kind of in their own little routine. They know what they're doing and when they're doing it. And all you have to do is watch that drum major, and that drum major tells them exactly what's going to happen when it happens.
Oh, yeah?
But it is a lot of work, and a lot of times they spend their entire summers in band camp. They don't have very many weeks off, and it's a really, really intense program with Karns High School.
Oh, here we go.
Joy to the world. Karns High School marching band.
Oh, I like it when they get loud.
Little stick high five. I don't know if you got to see that, but it was great. But this may be the only event that they were able to do this year, and it's so exciting.
Yeah.
And they really do. They worked so hard. That's awesome.
Somebody
guys.
gift wrapped their tuba. Oh, that's fantastic.
And actually, this is our Grand Marshal in the blue truck right here.
Oh, okay. So we had it. Lillian looked so young.
Yeah.
I thought that she was the wife of Lee, but she's the mother of Lee.
They switched it up. So this is our Grand Marshal that just right behind the band that you're seeing in the old GMC, 1972 GMC. And behind that is the Ghostbusters car.
We have our own Ghostbusters here in East Tennessee. And we also have our own National Lampoon's vacation car that drives around. But I always love seeing the Ghostbusters. 'Cause literally, who are you going to call? I mean, if you're
going to call... And it even has all of the Ecto-1 noises. It's one of my absolute favorite.
I did a guest spot on a
and
podcast.
Slimer's wearing a mask.
Oh, how appropriate. I did a guest spot on a podcast where we talked about the making of Ghostbusters.
Uh-huh.
And it was really, it's worth looking up. It was fascinating to learn all of those behind the scenes
And you're
things.
looking at the Corvette Club right now, the Hamptons with their 1980 Corvette, a 2008 CeeLo Corvette driven by Debbie Johnson.
Oh, there's just one after another after another. Corvettes are pretty cars.
And that's a 1966 Corvette, the blue one that you're looking at right now.
Now, I see one of our Karns Fairest of the Fair riding. I think I know her. No, I'm serious, because I used to MC the Karns Fairest of the Fair pageant.
I believe you.
And that looks like Lexi Hensley is what I want to say, but I don't know. Is her name on here somewhere?
No, there's the 2016 Camaro with Jack and Tracy Yearwood. 1964 Chevelle. Ooh, I love me a Chevelle.
Wow. Our friend Bruce should have put his car in the parade.
He absolutely could have.
He's probably watching at home. Thinking of you, Bruce.
My very first car was a Chevy Camaro, a 1988 Chevy Camaro.
No kidding.
I had to learn about Edelbrock headers.
Well, my first car was a Ford Maverick. Nobody would want to see that in a parade. That you're in a much better parade car.
This is a 77
than me.
Chevy S10 that you're seeing, 78 Regal, and a 34 Roadster.
How are you keeping track of the cars? Because to me, they all just look like cars.
Well, I'm a car girl. I'm a car girl at heart.
All right.
That's the 1938 Roadster right there.
Nice.
And a 57 Bel Air.
See, now, to me, that looks like a ZZ Top car. I would just say, expect...
That's the ZZ Top car.
I would expect Billy Gibbons to climb out of that car and sing Legs, is what I would think.
Yeah, that's a 54 Ford P11, and now you're going to see the 1957 Bel Air, and look at the beautiful. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Now, did Ricky and Lucy drive one of those in one of their shows? Because I recently watched The Long, Long Trailer, which is I guess a movie about a movie, because it's just a trailer.
Movie about a movie.
But it was very long, and I think they drove a car like that in it.
And something you don't see very often behind all of these classic cars, a tractor.
Well, in the Karns Parade, you do. I was looking at the photos from last year, and there were quite a number of tractors in the Karns Christmas Parade last year.
Do you ever go to the Tennessee Valley Fair and see all of the old engines and the old tractors? It's a pretty cool thing.
It's absolutely fascinating. So so now we're into the tractor section of the parade?
Into the tractor section.
All right. And do we have any more fairest of the fair, or do we pass all of them?
We do have some.
Because it looks like, let's see, we're into tractors.
Christina Rogers and Carrie Clark.
Oh, there they come. They're going to be on a Jeep.
In the back
do you see
of the
them?
Jeep.
There we do see them on camera right now. I like that little buggy in front of them, too. It looks very...
It's a 1901 Merry Olds.
Oh, well, Merry Oldsmas to you. Merry Christmas down there.
And he just drives it with one hand. It's almost like driving a scooter. But yeah.
They hadn't invented steering wheels yet in 1901.
Christina Rogers and Carrie Clark. They are the fairest of the fair for Winterfest.
Oh, lovely. Well,
yeah.
Congratulations. It takes a lot of work. Oh, I recognize them, too. They were in one of my pageants.
And coming behind them is K-Town Clogging.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Are they dressed as reindeer, perhaps?
They are dressed as reindeer. And I don't know how to clog, but I would love to learn how to clog. The only thing I can do is a wagon wheel, and that's where you throw your leg back behind you and you do a little spin.
There used to be a cable TV show that was it called Club Dance or something like that? And I've seen YouTube videos of grown women I know who say, well, they admit that their secret past is a high school clogger. They were on Club Dance.
But yeah, that's K-Town Clogging that you see right now. It's kind of hard to clog in a parade without stopping the parade.
Yes, they have to stop and set down their floor, I suppose. It can be done.
And this is Beaver Ridge Lodge number 366.
Oh, good. Or does it say what they're a lodge of? Are they like an Elks Lodge or a...
It does not say. They're just a lodge. Just a big old heckin' lodge.
All right.
And that's a 1977 GMC motorhome. I said 77. That's coming right behind the lodge. And that's so cool. I wanna get a motorhome and call it Harvey the RV.
Oh, that's clever. I like it. Then maybe you'd like this movie, The Long, Long Trailer, with Desi and Lucy. You might enjoy it.
And right behind the motorhome is Mindy Thomas TriStar Twirl.
Wait,
And
Mindy Thomas?
Mindy Thomas TriStar Twirl.
Wait, like as in Bob Thomas's daughter-in-law?
I believe so.
I think, maybe? Is that
And
right?
that is exactly what I did my very first parade at 5 years old. I sat in the back of a truck and I twirled baton.
No kidding. Well, good. What are they playing? Some Kelly Clarkson down there or something?
Sounds like it. Some Kelly Clarkson Christmas music. And if you look right now, she's twirling two batons over at one time.
That Kelly Clarkson Christmas album is very good. You know, by
and
the
this
way.
is Outrage MC, led by Turbo.
MC, I bet, stands for Motorcycle Club.
Motorcycle Club.
Or something
Motor
like
Club,
that.
Motorcycle Club.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to rev it up for us.
Heck yeah.
Revving up Christmas. Oh, and it looks like someone brought the Mercedes leather.
Yeah.
That's a fancy
Their
car.
Mercedes and their Corvette.
It says Friendly Farm. Is that who we're looking at?
That's who we're behind them.
Oh, behind the Mercedes.
You can see the Grinch and Santa Claus, and there's a little train.
Oh, I see. The Brassfields have their Mercedes and their Corvette.
They do.
Is what they're showing off for us here. I get it. Fantastic.
And I love it. I love the little train. And, the Grinch. It's always good. And there's an elf, but he doesn't look very happy.
No, if he's Grinchy, he's the Grinch's elf, though.
Yeah.
So who would want to be? That's the worst job.
The elf to the Grinch?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is Friendly Farm with their tractor and their little train.
And is that a Deadpool Santa? What
I
am
think
I looking?
It's a Santa, but it is a Deadpool Santa.
I think it's Deadpool Santa.
But he's definitely masked.
That could be a song.
Deadpool Santa.
I can imagine the tune already. At Karns Baseball, I see. Sandy Gallup has got those guys organized. And look
they went with the ugly Christmas sweater.
Seriously, some of those guys went shopping at the same Kroger that I did, where I bought this jacket. And you can tell those are some awesome Christmas sweaters, or jumpers as they call them over in England.
A jumper.
Yes. So it took me forever when I was watching was that Renee Zellweger movie to understand that a jumper was not a bad thing, but was a Christmas sweater.
And this is actually one of my favorites, a VW bus. And I love that they've got the wreath on the front, and you can just
they got
putt
Frosty the
around.
Snowman on the front. How do you feel about Frosty the Snowman as a Christmas song?
I think it's a fine song.
I think we should hear that one in January, February.
Uh-huh.
And save the Santa songs for December. Save all the snow, weather songs for January, because I would like to extend the season.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
All right.
Everyone approved? Vote
Thank
say
you.
aye. Okay.
Thank you.
And we've got a few more classic cars coming behind. We've got
Nice.
also behind them the Golf Cart Mafia.
So they are trying to do in slow motion what the Shriners do with their little Corbella Shrine cars. They're kind of weaving back and forth, but they're doing it slowly, which is hilarious.
And look how decorated they are. They're absolutely gorgeous.
That's why they have to drive slowly, because they've completely blocked their vision. They can't
And
see.
Look at the second one here. They've got Whoville on the front. They're all dressed as the Grinch and the Who's.
Oh, look at this
Mary,
one girl.
Cindy Lou Who.
Total Cindy Lou Who, voiced by June Foray in the old cartoon classic. Down there, and some more Grinchy costumes.
But I mean, to be honest, if you have a golf cart, you have to be in a parade. Like, that's mandatory.
Do they have a mothership that they drive back onto at the end?
I mean, possibly.
I imagine
Maybe
there must be some kind of
the golf cart
some
mothership.
kind of just thing that collects up the golf carts and transports them elsewhere.
And this is the Grace Fishing Team.
Oh, so yeah, we're right in the neighborhood of Grace Christian Academy,
Right.
And they're a fine school. They compete on Scholars Bowl, do real well every year. They also have a great football team. I think it's the Rams, I want to say.
And they've got a fishing team, and I mean, they're outfitted in everything.
It looks like we got more Hensleys down there. They're a big family in Karns, very involved in the community.
I love their inflatable Santa on the front of their boat. I don't imagine that when you're going out fishing that's going to be something that's going to stay on that bad boy.
Well, it might be good. I mean, you could probably figure out a way to keep it on there.
Maybe.
I'm thinking if you're trying to catch a big enough catfish, it would be good bait. You put Santa down there by the dam and see what you can catch.
And they're followed by a very pretty, my daughter would love this Jeep Wrangler following them.
Oh, the dogs are here.
The dogs are here. That sit means sit.
Hey, Artie,
Look at
Timmy,
the
Charlie,
sweet
look,
baby.
it's dogs.
Oh, I have a hard time. I can't. You're going to have to keep me from going down there and petting them. I actually got a little dog pet and a lick as we were setting up, and it just made my day.
Oh, very nice.
And that is sit means sit. That's
the name of-
Jessica Henderson.
Excellent. Well, it looks like we've got some more motorsports headed our way, and I can see. I hate to say that the parade is going to end soon, but
it is.
It's we're getting down toward the end. There's 52 entries in the parade, and we're sitting at number 44 right now.
And this is the Karns Middle School Majorettes, and again, twirling some baton. And a lot of people think, oh, well, that was so back in the day. My mom was a majorette back in the day.
Would that make you a minorette?
Yes.
What happens when a majorette has
as a child? It's a minorette.
I would think. I mean,
She tried to get me into twirling baton and being a majorette. And
yeah, she put you in a parade against your will at age 5. We heard that story.
It was not my favorite thing. This is Tommy's Motorsports following them up. And have you ever ridden in one of those side-by-sides?
No.
Alligators? Oh, buddy.
Well, you have, because you've been out and done all sorts of
I think you need a
wild things.
four-wheeler.
I have a four-wheeler. It's called a car.
I don't know if we can zoom in on this right now, but the tractor with the horns on the front.
Oh, the Longhorns, right on there.
The Longhorns.
Come on.
That is fantastic.
Look at the horns on that deer, is what our fan Megan.
Look at the horns on that deer.
Megan put that on the comments. We're doing the live chat. We got almost 100 people watching right now.
That's fantastic, and that's why this exists, and that's why we're doing this. Is so a lot of people who aren't able to get out to the parade or who need to be socially distanced. I actually have several friends who are awaiting tests that are making sure they're safe. This is the Knoxville this is the Republican Club, the Karns Republican Club with the float.
I recognize a couple of elected officials there. Dr. Richard Briggs, who is a surgeon, and he's been very vocal about how to stay safe from coronavirus, and he's obviously a heart surgeon himself. And that looks like Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally walking with him. So we recognize both of them, and I think that might be Roger Kane, who was in the weeds with
In the weeds.
well, in the straw. And Roger, I don't think is currently an elected official, but he has been in office in the past. So that's great to see the politicians out working it.
Terry Hill, Betsy
What's a parade without politicians?
That's the whole point in being there.
Usually they put them at the front, though. So that's kind of cool that they took up the rear for a change.
So random. Somebody's got to lead the dance team.
I think it's lovely.
That's Betsy Henderson. And you see the nice little... I love the elf costume.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get me a good elf costume.
Well, you have an elf. We can get you one. Because if you think about it, I mean, look at the two of us. If you take seriously, as we do our show together, I think we are evolving into one of us looks more like Santa and one of us looks more like an elf.
No telling which
So
one.
I'm saying there's money to be made, Krisha.
We're looking
is
at
what
the
I'm trying
Karns Middle School dance team.
I think we have a future as Santa and his elf.
And again, it's just like twirling baton. It's a really hard thing to have dance team, or to you'll have to stop the whole parade if you want to do a big old dance routine, which I'm all for.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
there they go.
Oh, look at this. They've got something going for us. And look at the color coordinated of the truck is the same Karns blue as the... I like it.
And a lot of people, especially this is the middle school dance team, and a lot of people get their start in dance team and in flags and drum corps, and can go on. And I know a lot of people who now work in Dollywood or who have gone on to work in New York and Broadway, who they credit getting an education and being able to, during school.
Well, as I mentioned
join
earlier,
a dance
Dolly
team.
herself started in high school band. I mean, granted, she probably already had more musical talent than everybody else combined, but still.
This is the Vandergrifts.
Oh, is Houston down there?
I don't know. They're in the Jeep down here.
Oh, I love the Vandergrifts.
Trinity Restoration.
Houston is, that is Houston. He's an actor.
Don't look. Don't
what?
look now.
I'm looking. It
Are you
says
looking?
I'm looking.
It's Santa Claus.
Santa. Oh, that's exciting.
That's the Karns Lion Club bringing you Santa and Mrs. Claus. And that's what everybody waits for at the end of the parade. You've got to see Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Oh, that is lovely. And they've got a nice float decked
Oh,
out.
and Mrs. Claus, look at her beautiful mask.
The Karns Lions Club is bringing us Santa. And yeah, that's nice, color coordinated. They just look great. And then another fire truck from Karns Volunteer Fire Department.
Finishing up the parade. Well, we hope that you guys enjoyed this as much as we did.
We had more. I think we had more fun. I think technically we had more fun than all y'all watching. But this is the kind of fun that we get to have Monday through Friday on our regular podcast. You can look for us. Look for Krisha and Frank on. We've got a Facebook. We've got a Instagram and a Twitter. But our YouTube channel is growing in leaps and bounds with our show, or you can listen to us on any of the audio podcasting apps, because this is just what we do.
That's what we do.
We love this opportunity.
And thank you
have so
to
much
Mike
fun.
Grimes Insurance again for the Wi-Fi, and Mr. Wade and the AV Club. You guys did a fantastic job. Such a great job.
Lee Henson and Lillian Henson, his mom, I learned, as for being grand marshals.
And Lexi and Alex and Chris, they did such a fantastic job. And I think we're going to get a shot of them.
Yeah, there they are again.
Get in there, Chris. Thank
Well
you
done.
guys so much.
Well done. And then Captain Edlin and the Knox County Sheriff's Office are driving, I guess, cleaning up the back end of the parade.
Cleaning up.
And you can see the line of regular cars trying to get through behind them. But we got to say thank you to Knox County Sheriff's Office for closing off the street. You know, this is a busy road, but the signs go up, the notices go out, and everyone's familiar that twice a year they have a Karns parade. There's one in July before the Karns Community Fair, and then
the Christmas parade.
and then the Christmas parade, which almost went away. But thanks to the same folks, we're talking about Cassie Kiesler and Mr. Austin and all those guys who brought it back and held on to it and have kept it going. So I mean, like I said, as a Karns resident, I'm happy for them and proud of them.
And again, thank you so much for joining us. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. You never know what you're going to see. Support the AV Club. Support the Karns community. And thank you for having us. It's so much fun. We had such a blast.
Yes, I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Krisha Brooke.
We are Krisha and Frank, and you've been watching the Karns Christmas Parade on the Karns Network. And share the link with your friends who might have missed it.
See ya.
Merry Christmas!